Hello, YouTube. Welcome to the wonderful world of comics. Good to have you here. This is BUB'S Comics. I'm coming at you with another comic haul, and this is going to be an all Instagram haul. So every book here I got off Instagram. I highly recommend it. There's absolutely nothing wrong with buying off Instagram. I try to only buy off people that I kind of know from somewhere else. So my rule on Instagram is if I recognize you from YouTube or from Facebook or something, I need 2 points of reference. But if you're just someone on Instagram or the CGC message boards, if you're just someone on Instagram and I have no idea who you are and you're throwing up books for sale, I might buy a couple of cheap books from you first just to test the waters. If I get burned too bad, not a big deal. But then after that, after we develop something of a relationship and I feel like I bought from you or if someone will vouch for you, then I'll buy from you. But other than that, I have been burned before on Instagram when I first started buying off Instagram, and it wasn't even a purposeful burn. It was an honest burn. The guy had messed up. He sent me the wrong books. Then he was wanting me to pay to send them on to somebody else and wanting to give me their information. And my very first time buying on Instagram. So that scared me off buying on Instagram for a while. And then I started buying off Facebook, and then I had a couple of kind of crappy experiences there. So I bounced back to Instagram and settled down. So anyway, all these books come from an Instagrammer, and I think he's also active in YouTube sometimes too. So here you go. You got Swamp Thing number 8. This book is really messed up. He only had it for $1, and then when I got it, I knew why. Of course, I assumed it was damaged. To me, I'm not one of those people. When I get a book that's well below its going price, then I already know that I should expect some damage. This one's real rough. It's got color touch all along the edge where the spine is. It's got wrinkles and water damage all throughout, so it's pretty rough. I could clean it, I could press it, but it is what it is. I'll probably take it to work and display it instead. That's what I do with some of my lower grade books. Just take them to work and put them on the wall. And, it's a cool cover, a cool art. And when people see comics with like 20 cents on it, and you tell them it's like from the 70s or 80s or anything, they already think, whoa, that's really old. So it's all good. Next we have Batgirl number 30. I've been looking for this book for a while. I just hadn't found it. I had one in my possession for a minute, but it was for a contest, so I never really got to keep it. But anyway, this is Joshua Middleton cover, and that's Laura Flynn Boyle. I'm telling you right now, that's Laura Flynn Boyle. I've shown it on Instagram. That's her, and somebody owes her some money because that's uncanny how much it looks like her. But anyway, probably my favorite Joshua Middleton Batgirl cover, but that won't stop me from picking up the rest. Here is Batgirl 28. Sorry for going in reverse, but there's another Joshua Middleton. Kind of puts you in the mind of Alicia Silverstone's Batgirl from Batman and Robin, maybe? The one everybody hates. Almost everybody. I know there's a couple of diehard fans out there. Here is The Flash TV special number 1. I already have a copy of this book, but it's signed by John Wesley Shipp, and it's personalized on the interior by him as well. So I wanted to go ahead and get a nice reader copy because that other one I'm going to keep displayed for a long time, probably not thumb through it in forever. So when I have the urge to look through it, I can look through this one instead. Here is Marvel Secret Wars number 1. Already had this book, but if you see a cheap copy of it, and it looked pretty good. It's got some damage up here at the top, but for the most part, for what I paid for it, very happy with that. Here is Uncanny X-Men number 509. Greg Land cover. Absolutely love it. This was one of my favorite books. In fact, this was the book that made me start my box with this guy and start adding to it, because this is a book that I've been after for a while. Just absolutely love Greg Land's work on X-Men. I thought it was perfect. Here is Weird Science number 1. This is double-sized first issue reprint, but it actually reprints a Wally Wood cover that I've been after for some time. And since I don't have it yet, I'm going to settle for the reprint. So there you go. Wally Wood doing some great monsters, beasts, and babes. He does them well. So great Weird Science cover. My goal is to collect all the Weird Science books, not the reprints necessarily, although I am working on that run as well, just to kind of ease the. When it comes to Golden Age stuff, if you jump in and try and pick up everything and make a quick run of it, it can get super expensive. So I have found for myself that picking up some of the reprints will actually calm me down a little bit. If I pick them up for $1 or $2 a piece, then I don't get as excited when I see the other ones, and it stops me from buying a really, really too low grade book, and I wait off for a better cover, because then it truly is a cover buy. So I wait for that because I already had the reprint. Here's Barbed Wire number Who Cares? But it's not one I had, so I was glad to have this Adam Hughes cover here. And so this is one of the Barbed Wires. I'm still missing the last two in the set. I think it's a 6-issue set. Check out that tattoo. That's pretty tough with the blood and the actual piece of barbed wire in there. That's pretty cool. So anyway, Barbed Wire number Who Cares by Adam Hughes. Collecting the whole run, so the only thing I missed the last few. Here's Red Sonja number 8 by Adam Hughes. This was a funny one because I was done. I had noticed that it was me and like 2 other people that kept scooping up this guy's Instagram buys, so it was kind of a race. So I had notifications set on, and as soon as it hit, I would jump in and go ahead and grab it if it was one I wanted. And if you took too long to think about it, somebody else might get it. But this was one I noticed somebody picked up, got to it before me. So when it came close to the deadline of when, he was holding books for about a week, and then you paid him at the end of the week. So I asked him, I said, hey, has anybody welched on their payments? And he said, yeah, actually, one guy, I'm giving him till, this day and this time to make good. And I said, I actually want one of the books that he claimed. So I did a backup claim, ended up getting it. So that was this book. So Red Sonja number 8 by Adam Hughes. Don't really usually do much with blood. So this is one of the rare times that I have a cover in my collection that has blood, but for Adam Hughes, I'll give him a break. Here's some more Adam Hughes. It's Legionnaires number 13. I didn't have this one. Not a great cover. It's all right. She's in the mirror and a bunch of people behind her. Who knows? Or she cut her hair. I don't know. It's kind of goofy, but why not? For a couple bucks, I'll pick that up. Next, Legionnaires 14, a slightly better cover, but also falls into that kind of crappy Adam Hughes work stuff, but it's all right. It has its moments. Now this one, I love, and it's Wildcats X-Men number 1. This is like a one-shot. The Modern Age is called. And it's got an Adam Hughes Wolverine, which is not a great Wolverine, but it is a great whoever that character is. And I like it. So I was super excited to get this really thick book. So in excellent condition. It's pretty close to near mint. So very happy with that. Keeping it rolling. We got some more Adam Hughes goodness here. We got Gen 13, which is usually that's Campbell, right? Usually a J. Scott Campbell book. So instead it's got Adam Hughes doing the cover on this one, Ordinary Heroes. And it's just a 2-issue run. And he had them both. So there's another Adam Hughes cover. Look at that. That's crazy looking. But anyway, Gen 13 books. Can't go wrong unless you do. But we'll take them for now. Another book that I already had, but keep it rolling. I got Gotham by Gaslight. And this book is in much better condition. I paid probably a third for this book as what I did pay for my original copy, and it's pretty rough. So it's funny because the first time I saw this book, I saw it in a shop, and I told my son about it, and I said, man, that looks like a book you'd really like. And he was like, yes, and he knew all about the book because I guess at that time there was a little movie or a cartoon movie coming out. He knew all about it. He was like, yes, I want that book. I took him to the shop. He saw the book. He got the book. Then I didn't have a copy. Later on, another copy popped up at a convention. I saw it, reasonable price, picked that up. But this one's the best of the 3 as far as condition. It's absolutely flawless. Definitely unread because these square bounds, they have a nice pre-made crease along there. And once you open it, that crease is very visible. So this is unread, pristine copy of Gotham by Gaslight, A Tale of Batman. Great book, great story. I highly recommend it to anybody who's a Batman fan. If you haven't read it already, check it out. a rare appearance of George Perez in my collection. But here it is. Wonder Woman. Nice George Perez cover. I guess you'd call that a bondage cover, but to me, it's just absolutely great art. Let's see if we can get that. Look at that. Holy moly. Her expression is so perfect. And then being chained up by another good girl there. That's how you know it's Perez. Look at that ugly ass moon. That's so, or whatever, a crystal ball or whatever the heck that is. That's freaking ugly. But the rest of it is beautiful. Great job, George Perez, on 8 out of 10 parts of this cover. Look perfect. I wish I could like take a marker and put a price tag. Maybe I'll have a tape pull on there, an accidental tape pull right there. But anyway, other than that, great book. George Perez, definitely not one of my favorites. Every now and then he gets it right. And I know a lot of people love George Perez, and I think if you were of that time when this book came out and that was like what you were reading, and you're a big DC, Wonder Woman fan, whatever, then you might be a bigger George Perez fan. For me, he's usually not very good, and sometimes he's great. So that's kind of how it is. Action Comics number 32 of the New 52. This is I think it's a variant. It might be the regular cover, but I think it's a variant. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Yeah, Supergirl. It says, saving the day in Metropolis, being related to, I don't know what it says. Being related to the world's most Superman, I would assume it says. So cool kind of take on it's a picture of like a magazine cover, the Metropolitan or something? Metropolitan maybe? I don't know. So it's a picture of a magazine cover that she was on. So I thought that was pretty cool. I like that. Nice way to do it. Speaking of kind of these steampunk type variants, you got Infinite Crisis crossover, but this is Superman, and I like it when they do these older books with this faux distress. So like that's not an actual crease across his foot. That's like a fake stress and a fake crease. These don't actually. It doesn't actually have any spine ticks. That's written in there or drawn in there. So cool little Superman cover with an old style S and all that, and it's got like a faux tape pull up there. So I mean, I think it's pretty cool. I like it. So Superman, this is actually number 226, and I think it's the last book in that run. So I hope y'all appreciate that in that volume. Here's All-Star Squadron. I could not pass this up because it had all these cool Golden Age heroes on it. So Earth 2's Greatest Heroes versus the Power of Shazam, who to me should already be kind of in the Golden Age, right? Because he was Fawcett, so he was Captain Marvel. So to me, it's just all Golden Age heroes fighting. You got Batman, you got the Flash, you got Elastic Man, or Plastic Man rather. You got Wonder Woman, you got Green Lantern, you got Hawkman, and Superman, of course, all battling what I would call Captain Marvel. So I think that's fantastic. I absolutely love it. Buckler. So probably, what was that? Rich Buckler, I think. Next, we got a Jim Lee cover here. Superman number 205. You guys know I'm a fan of Superman 204. So getting this 205, I couldn't pass it up. I just liked he's catching all these mortars and bullets and everything. He's got his eyes red. I just think it's really cool. So yeah, so there you go. Superman 205. Then we got X-Men 305 with the great Rogue cover there. And somebody's holding him, I guess Bishop, but this is not, who cares about Bishop in this cover? It's all about Rogue and her surprise face, whatever's happening to her hand, and the rest of that display of that suit. So absolutely amazing. Great work on that. Next, we got a What If Wolverine Battled Conan. Did not have this one, so glad to have it. Nothing special about it except that it looks like it's going to be a good fight. Of course, these what ifs are always the same. They basically tease you and saying, hey, wouldn't you like us to do this, kids? And then you read it and you're like, wow, I'm so glad they didn't do it. Like, that's their job, is to take it to an extreme to where at the end of the book, you're like, wow, that would have been a terrible story, a terrible fight, a terrible ending, and all of Marvel history would have been different because of it. So I don't like that idea. And that's their goal. And all these what ifs is to take it to you and be like, yeah, that sucked, didn't it, kids? Well, aren't you glad we didn't do that? And you're like, yeah, but I just paid $1.25 to read that. You could have done a little better than that. They're always bad endings. Always. Like purposefully. They're all purposefully sad or crappy endings to make you wish that it had never happened. And that way you can finish reading it and say, I'm so glad that was all a dream. So anyway, What If number 16. And I think that's probably what they would consider volume 2. So next, we have a book I already have, Wolverine 131. This is the first print recalled edition. Has a racial slur in it. I already have a copy, at least one copy of this. I think this will be my second, and I already have a couple of copies of the regular version where they fixed it, after the recalled version. So this is the recalled one. So very cool to get that. I like the recalls. Again, when it comes to Wolverine books, there's only a certain amount that are really keys. And some of them are keys for odd reasons, so that's one of these. Here we have Fables number 3. Number 3. So I don't know if this is Fairest. I think it's just Fables. From the pages of Fables. So this is Fairest number 3. There you go. Adam Hughes. Look at that. What can you say about that? It says Fairest in the window. Very cool. That's pretty. I like that. Speaking of Adam Hughes, he's made a lot of appearances. This guy was selling a lot of Adam Hughes books. It's Before Watchmen, Dr. Manhattan number 1. I already have number 2, so glad to have number 1. I have the variant for number 2 as well. Actually, I think the one I have, the other one might be Silk Spectre. I'm not sure. Anyway, very cool. Adam Hughes. I think he did a good job on Silk Spectre there. What do you say? Another book I already have. This one's in better condition than the one I had. This one's pretty much near mint. And it is New Avengers number 4. This is the first appearance of Maria Hill from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And also, it's a great David Finch cover. So, love this book. It's one of my favorite Spider-Woman covers. And I just love it. So now I have 2 copies. That makes me kind of want to get one of them signed by David Finch if I ever come across him. So very cool. I love this book. So went ahead and got a second copy of it. This one I did not order, but he thought I did, so it ended up being free, even though we discussed that it wasn't mine. He was like, I'll throw it in. Nobody else claimed it. So Batgirl 21, another Joshua Middleton cover. It's just not really my thing, but it'll stay in the collection because it's not bad. Next, we have another Adam Hughes book. This is Wonder Woman number 159. Pretty cool Adam Hughes book there. New Road, it says. So Wonder Woman. Good lasso work there. Nice use of lines. Stars are aligned perfectly. That's fantastic. I have to say, for Wonder Woman, I like Adam Hughes' Wonder Woman the best. I think that the way he draws her face, the facial features that he gives her are better than anyone else that's ever drawn Wonder Woman. Next, I like Boland. And then after that, I like John Byrne. And then since you have to put Perez on the list, it would be Perez after that. But really, to me, it's Hughes, Boland, and Byrne. Those are the three. If I have my druthers of who's drawn Wonder Woman. This is a Battle Lines variant to some book or another. Who cares? It's got the cat on there, so I like that. Check that out. Pretty cool cover. Here's another one with Spider-Man on it. Black suit Spidey. And here's another one with Spider-Gwen on there. Not a big Spider-Gwen fan, but man, is that pretty. Couldn't pass that up. Thought about getting it and giving it to Silver Age Dave, but I figure he probably already has a copy. But if he doesn't, then I'll keep it. Then I'll send it to him. So anyway, that's it. That's my haul for today. I was looking for a book to end on. We'll just end on this one. So don't forget to read a comic, and don't apologize for the glare. We'll catch you next time on BUB'S Comics. Bye-bye.